In today's knitting podcast episode, we're going to be going over some special baby gift knits, including now a finished FO and many whips. So if that's something that interests you, just keep watching. I'd love to have you here. Hi, welcome back. My name is Holly-Beth and this is my Cozy Corner. Here we have been documenting my handcrafting journey, majorly knitting as a beginner from project 1 up until right now. We do a bunch of handcrafting things here and I'm so excited to share with you what I have been working on recently. So grab something cozy to drink, maybe even something that you yourself is working on, and let's just get straight in. So I always want to start off with like a little catch up of, you know, what have I been up to, what's been going on at the start, like here. But as always with all of my podcasts, I will put chapters down below so that you can skip to whatever part that you're more interested in listening or watching. No, more interested in listening to. And you can even find these down in the description box, or you can scroll along the screen right along here. Oh. So slightly different today. I think I will leave the little catch up to the end. However, I do just want to mention, mainly because I don't really want to talk about my health at the start of the video when this is about knitting. But obviously there has been no proper video uploads, and that's okay for the last few weeks, but that's because I unfortunately somehow I don't leave the house. So no idea how, but I got / tested positive for COVID and it completely knocked me out. So I'm still very brain foggy. I am struggling still a little bit with my chest, so please bear with me, but I'm excited to feel like I can come back and record today. So yes, wish me luck, let's do this. Let's start talking about knitting. So let's start off with some finished objects. I thought that the finished objects I would have would be much different, but alas, here we are. Let's start off with the most exciting one, shall we? So this is in the finished objects section, which is really exciting. If you've been here since December, you would know what this is. I know that finished objects are supposed to have end tweed in, but I'm so excited to show you it that I'm classifying it as a finished object. I did the same with my socks actually. But ends we've done or not, I have a finished blanket. It's officially done, and it's genuinely quite big. I think it's a relatively good size. Now I think I wrote down that I started this on the 4th of December. As of right now, we are the middle of February now, so it has taken me just over 2 months. But, and this will come into the little catch up later, whilst I was sick with COVID, and you would think that, oh, you can knit. I really couldn't. I had such little energy that I couldn't even, I would knit a few stitches and my arms would just be dead. So I didn't actually get any knitting done whilst I was sick. So this, in theory, could have been done sooner, but alas, we can't help getting sick. We can't help, you know, catching something that makes us very ill. So it is what it is. It is finished. This is my block stitch baby blanket for one of my longest friends and his wife, who are just the sweetest people. Honestly, they're so sweet. I know that they do know this is for them now, which was always a bit funny that I didn't know if they did know. I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry. This episode is going to be very chaotic, very all over the place, but we'll work it out. But yeah, I finished the baby blanket and I'm so happy with it. I'm super happy with it. So let's talk about the actual pattern itself. The pattern is a free pattern. It is actually called the block stitch baby pattern, baby blanket, or throw pattern. There is an option to have a larger option. I did the baby blanket option, and it is by Church Mouse Yarns and Teas, and it's free. It's a free pattern on their website. They have some really cute free patterns. I've downloaded a few of them and they're really nice. The pattern was really easy, really clear, really simple. If you're a beginner wanting to knit, or even if you're not a beginner, I would really recommend it. I really would. It's such a wonderful pattern and it's free, so you don't have to worry about paying for a pattern that you might not enjoy. I used a acrylic, 100% premium acrylic that I had in my yarn stash. I had 3 100-gram balls, skeins. I don't have the labels because I am professional about this. 2 seconds. There was actually an extra label that I needed anyway, so that worked out okay. So yeah, I used a 100% premium acrylic that I had in my stash. I had 3 of these. They were 100-gram balls. It's gonna be a long one today, I can already tell. Per 100 grams approximately you get about 280 meters. So just for reference on how much meterage this pattern takes, and this is a DK weight, so just as a little thing, this is how much I have left. It is quite a loose cake now. I do have to recake this, but that's fine because I enjoy caking yarn or winding yarn, if you can tell from my shorts. I love it very much. I love the process. I love the before and after. I'm a big fan of winding yarn into cakes. Anyway, I've given you all that information, but I didn't even give you the name of the brand. I think it is, let me just hold this up actually, the Teddy Vanguard double knit DK, and the shade is B133. I think I'm starting to slowly remember that off by heart with how much I've talked about it. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do with the rest of this. I need to weigh it and see how much I have left, and then kind of predict how much meterage I have left and see what I can do with it. But yeah, the main event. I did that last time, didn't I? The thing that has been on my needles for a few months now is finally done, and I'm so happy with how it looks. If I can, I will try and take some pictures after the podcast, because I am actually recording quite early in comparison to when I would usually record. I have finished the baby blanket. I'm really excited. If I can, I'll also put the measurements of, like, the dimensions of what it ended up being, just in case, like, I'll put that on the screen just in case that's helpful for visualization purposes. I'll do that as well. I am thinking about making the throw version for myself, but we'll see, because I really enjoyed this pattern so much. I enjoyed working with it. So you know who you are. I have sent a message to said wonderful people about what they would like me to do. I still need to wash it, and I'm wondering what the safest bet is to do, with obviously with me being so sick before with COVID. I didn't knit on it whilst I had it, but obviously I was going to wash it anyway. I'm considering washing it twice, and telling them to wash it as well when they get it, but I don't know. We'll see what they turn around and say. Either way, I can show it. It's done, apart from weaving in some ends. And yes, I just need to wash it, block it, disinfect it, etc. But yeah, I made, well, actually I think this might be my first ever blanket as well, so that's kind of cool. Actually, 2 birds in 1 stone. But anyway, first main subject is my baby blanket, and I'm so flippin' happy how it turned out. And I'm so happy. I was that happy about it that I ended up making some more things, and I can see there being an extra video coming up about this little set, because I am personally quite proud of it. So I can see it being the thing that is maybe a favorite of mine for this month. But obviously I had spare yarn. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the yarn I have left. I've actually made some other things as well, so that's not just a blanket. They used all of that up. But I also made a little hat. I did talk about it. I briefly mentioned it. I said that I was thinking about maybe making a little baby hat, and I was unsure because I hadn't really found. I'd found a few patterns, but not one that I thought yes. And then I found this one. I have since found some more as well, but this pattern, it's another free pattern. All three of these actually are free, which is amazing, and the pattern itself is fantastic. It's so simple, so amazingly laid out. There's the option to knit it in the round or knit it flat and seam. There's literally instructions for both, for all different ages. Let me check what ages they actually are. That I actually didn't check. Okay, after all of that, goodness me, the pattern goes from a premature 4 to 6 pound bubba to 1 to 2 years, so it is very much a baby, young toddler hat. And yeah, the pattern is so great. The fact that it gives you both sets of instructions to suit your preference, I just think is really cool. As always, patterns will be listed on screen and also linked down in the description below if you'd like to check them out or you'd like to try them yourself. So it will take you straight to that Ravelry page. I'll usually always do Ravelry, and then if they then send you to a website, then that's for the pattern to do. But yeah, so it's knit in the same yarn, so I won't list it again, but it's in the same yarn, the TK Teddy Vanguard. My brain is mush at the moment. It worked out really well for the gauge, worked out really well for the sizing, and look at the little knot. It's so cute. I sat there and I was like, wow, this is pretty big. But then I was like, actually, no. Babies do have big heads, actually. Most of the time. They're a little bit deceiving. Obviously, I don't own a baby. I don't own a baby? I don't have a baby. Oh gosh. I don't have a baby, so I don't have the size. I can't try it on as we go type thing. But I have had friends who've had babies, kids, so I know that they can have quite deceivingly big heads. All that to say, I'm really happy with it, and so there's a little hat also going their way. It's a really simple pattern. It uses a garter stitch start and then works into stockinette. You do some crown decreases and then you do like slip. Words are failing me today. Somewhat like a slip stitch top for the tie, and it gets surprisingly long so you can tie it. But yeah, I made a little baby hat to match. And then I loved them again so much that I couldn't not just leave it there, but I also made some little mittens. They're very basic mittens. They are garter stitch mittens. I even mentioned the pattern. Let's backtrack a little bit. The pattern for the hat is called baby hat with top knot, and then it says dash Tegan. So that is what the pattern is called. It's by someone called Julie Taylor. So there's the pattern for the last one. Goodness me, I knew this was going to be chaos, but I didn't think I'd be like backtracking, so I apologise for that. Anyway, mittens. Oh, we're gonna have to do a quick little interlude because I think the bin men are coming down the street. So BRB. Okay, they sound like they're majorly gone now, so let's continue. Mittens. Yes, I made some little mittens. I'm unsure what to do with the ends, whether I want to weave them in or whether I want to do some sort of like tie, but then I don't know, is that not that great because like it's not that safe for baby, I guess. But they are very basic garter stitch baby mitts. Quite literally the pattern is called easy garter stitch baby mittens by Mariana Mel, I think, and the pattern is again free. They are super heckin' cute. They're so small. But yes, I also wanted to make some little mittens for them too, so they have like a whole set of blanket, hat and mittens, and I just think that that's a really nice all-round set. I would have loved to have made like a little cardigan or something like that, but my brain capacity just isn't there at the moment, so we'll see. Maybe I might have enough in that ball of yarn. Is that a bit much? I don't know. But as of right now, as into the future as I can see, there is these little baby mitts, the hat and the blanket. And I honestly, these people, they really are just wonderful people. I've known them for years and they just have been so supportive of me, and they've just been wonderful people. So I kind of went a bit overboard, but it was for the right reasons and it was for the right people. Yeah. Okay, I haven't brought them out with me, and to be honest, there's not really much point in showing them, but I was working on some coasters last time and I haven't picked them back up yet, so there's no progress on them. It's in the same place, so that's still kind of like a work in progress slash to be done, but it's as and when I can do it. They are still a whip, so yeah. But that's all of my, I really am jumping, I'm so sorry. That's all of my whips. All of my FOs, that's 3 FOs, all baby related, so yes, really cute. However, I have got 3 other whips. My first work in progress. I honestly just don't know if I have made any progress on this since I last showed it. I like to think that I have. I think I have. The needles aren't on at the moment because they're on a different project, which I'll show you next, which I just kind of want to get done. This is my little secret crop by Jessie Made Designs. It's not that there's not much at the moment, but it's going to be another crop top I've made. This is my 3rd, and I've made them all out of the same yarn actually, I think, as well. But yes, I wanted to have one for here. Both of my other 2 are still in Norway from when I last visited my other half. As of right now, I'm still on the body. I haven't got to the binding off or casting off for the underarms or anything yet. That's where we're at, and it's just been put on hold. I am in a mess. Words really are failing me, so I will put this on the screen, but it is the Mute brand, it's the Merino wool, and I'm still really enjoying using it. I think this is my 2nd wool, and I've used maybe 1.5 on this because I used up some leftovers first and then worked on it. So then I have 1 more of these, so I think I'll be fine. And then I plan on using the darker one. I don't have the ball band for this, so I'll put but I did search up last time what the colorway was, so I'll put that back up again on the screen like I did last time. But it's the same brand, same type. It's just a slightly darker grey, and I plan on doing that for like the top part and the straps. Hopefully I have enough. We're just gonna find out, aren't we? I hope to work on this a little bit now. I want to get the next one finished, and then I want to work on this to get it finished as soon as I'm able to, because I want to wear it. You know, I want to be able to wear my own vest top, crop top. Yeah, we're slowly getting there. The crop top I started at the start of January, maybe like the 8th. I didn't touch it for a bit. And then I picked it back up around the middle of January, and then again naturally I haven't picked it up again, but usually I can finish those within 2 weeks quite easily, very easily, but obviously things just haven't gone that way. Just for some time scale reference. The thing that has stolen the needles for that though, also I mentioned in my last video, I just kind of put it on the screen, I no longer have my 3.25mm interchangeables, because when I tried to detach them from the cord to move up to the bigger needles, one of the needles snapped, and I don't think I personally did anything out of the ordinary. I unscrewed them with the same tightness that I usually would, so I don't know. The thing is, I have another pair of these from the same shop in Norway, and they're fine. I've used them a lot for hats, and I've made 2 like little secret crops over there as well and had no problems. So I don't know if I just had a faulty pair of needles, but I've not been able to buy myself some more yet, so I'm a little bit stuck at the moment. So I need to at some point hopefully repurchase, and maybe from somewhere else, or I don't really know. Either way, what the bigger needles have been stolen for now is for this. It is just another beanie. I showed this yarn, did I put it in my haul video? It isn't necessarily new to me, but it is a yarn that my other half brought over with him when he visited for a week just after Christmas from my yarn that I have in Norway for when I visit him. It's a really cool yarn. I am basically at the point where I'm going to be decreasing now, but I haven't got around to it. Once this is decreased, and I want to finish this before I steal the needles back for the crop top, because I just have a feeling I will put this down without the needles with the little stoppers on the end and I'll just forget about it, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to try and finish this first and then steal the needles back for the crop top. But yeah, it's just another 2x2 ribbed beanie hat, and it's using a really cool yarn. The yarn is this here, kind of difficult to read, but I'll put it on screen. I think it's Allen raw tweed, and the colorway is 1367. It's not a very large quantity of yarn. It's 40 grams and it's 100 meters. I mean, it's cool. I think I picked it up in a secondhand, like, sort of thrift store in Norway, and it's honestly low-key one of my favorite yarns I think I've picked up, like, across the board. Don't you think that just looks really cool? I don't know. Anyway, this might be for me. I'm unsure yet. We'll see. I did have a green beanie that I finished recently, but it was my brother's 21st birthday at the end of January, and he tried it on at one point and he looked really nice. It suited him. It suited him really well. And I cast this on as I'm going to make this for him. But actually, I just decided that the green one would be better for him. When he tried it on, I just thought, yeah, I'll just give you my hat and I'll make myself a different one. Either way, I have a little hat on the go, and hopefully this will be finished next. Which then moves us on to our last whip, which I think is quite a cool one, personally. It is this here. Well, it's just this so far. If you are new here, my brother is also having the same one as Ash, just had a birthday. They're having he's having a baby soon with his girlfriend, and they are due sometime in May. When I finished the green, or the greeny blue baby blanket for my friend, I was like, okay, cool, I can start thinking about the next one. I just cast it on, you know. I thought about it so much, and I was thinking about doing the same thing, but I knew I wanted to use different colors, so I have decided to cast on it's basically the Coziest Memory Blanket by Kemper Ray. The pattern is also free. I'm very grateful for all these free patterns, I really am. The pattern recommends sort of sock yarn, but you can use any weight. It also says I think it's 2.75 mil needles. These were the yarns that I had. These are all acrylic / nylon bases. I have 1, 2, that was probably a mistake putting that one in the middle, and 3, 4. So these are the same. This is separate, this is separate. This is one that I've shown before. I needed that label. But they're all around the 4-ply mark, and they recommend anywhere between the 2.75 all the way up to like a 3.5, maybe 3.25, 3.75 maybe on the labels. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest, even though it's just a case of maybe 0.5 mil, I didn't want to use anything 3 or below for a blanket, so I decided to use a 4 mil. I did swatch it and I was happy with how both of the colors came out. So I'm basically using the Coziest Memories blanket, which is quite fitting, I think, considering this is going to be a gift for my brother and his girlfriend for their baby girl. It allows me to use up my acrylic stash for really good purposes, and it looks really cute. I'm really happy with it. Now, there is one random square and I have plans for that. So bear with me on that. I'm thinking about doing the initial that they're thinking of naming the baby, but I'm not doing it yet until they are pretty much 100% certain on the names. I'm just gonna do it at the end, just in case. So basically what you do is you knit the 2 different types of decrease stitches. So you do like a knit together, knit 2 together, and a SSK in the center to give a center decrease line. And then what you do is you pick up the stitches on the edges, and then you maybe cast on down here, or cast on and pick up, depending on which one you're going. Obviously when you're doing the corner ones like I am now, you pick up on both edges. You just pick up a square each time. It's a really good pattern if you're looking for something that you can do over a long period of time that doesn't actually need too much focus. It's mainly just when you're picking up stitches. I did need to attach, I'd originally done this row first, this row here, these 3 squares, and I was like, actually, because I realized I wasn't gonna have enough of this color, I was like, okay, I need to switch this up a bit. So I then had the thought, okay, well, I'll use this as like the corner square with like a bit around it, to put the initial of my niece's name. So I thought, okay, well, that means I need to do a row beneath and I don't want to mess with the pattern. So what I did was I knit 3 squares the same length and just stitched them together. I think I just mattress stitched them together. And actually, I think the join actually looks neater on those ones than it does on the ones I'm picking up. It's fine. At the moment, I'm planning on doing, it's going to be 5 squares by 5 squares, and then I'll just go up like corner wise and just keep going until I basically am running out of yarn. But yeah, I just think it's a really cute, it's looking like a really cute little blanket. I don't want to talk about how many ends. I am weaving as I go where I can. I think we're gonna have to do a few streams of just me weaving in ends because it's gonna be so many. This is how far I got. This is a really important one, I think, for me to show as well the progress on, because it's the thing that I am gravitating towards the most, especially since I got the other blanket done, and I'm just really enjoying the fact that it just goes by quite quickly. I can get easily 2 squares done a day at the moment, and it's only really been on needles for 4 days. So the yarns that I'm using, they're all again acrylic nylon bases in my stash. This one again I have shown before. It's just a really cool, I think it's been used in a previous project before because it's so curly, but it's just got a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's really soft. It's a really nice color. And then I have this white one, this brand here. I think it's Jarrell. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's the baby 4-ply, super soft. 60% premium acrylic, 40% nylon, so it's gonna be really sturdy. Although I am using a bigger needle size, so maybe not. There is about 400 and something, so 100 grams, and there's about 410 approximately meters in this one ball. Well, I caked it up a while ago, so 1 cake. In comparison to the pink ones, this is almost double what I have, so that's my thought process with that. These 2 are this brand here, Chanel, don't know, and it is again a baby 4-ply, 60% acrylic, 40% nylon. So I also have these as well, and these are 50 grams. God, my camera's blowing that out. They're 50 grams each, and there's approximately 206 meters in both. So it's, you can kind of see my thought process with putting these 2 with the white. There's approximately the same amount, hopefully. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going until I use these up. It's a really great way of me being able to stash bust as well, because I think these colors are absolutely beautiful, and I'm glad they're going to something really special that I hope that the little one can keep and take with her as she grows up. So, and it's going to be quite a cute moment, I hope, when she's a little bit older and, you know, she just starts to understand that I made that blanket for her. I just think it's going to be quite cute. But yeah, that's my last whip, and I'm just going to work on that as and when I can. At the moment, it's what I am gravitating towards. It's the thing that I'm picking up, the first thing I'm picking up. So I imagine I'll probably have a little bit of progress next time. I don't think I'll be finished. Oh gosh. Maybe, we'll see. I'm really happy with how all of my whips and everything have come along. I'm really happy with the finished objects as well. I'm really chuffed, and I'm excited to see their reaction when they see it. It's quite nerve-wracking as well, but I'm excited to see how they feel about it, so hopefully they like it. My hope. But yeah, that's everything. There's no acquisitions this time as well. Okay, just popping back in here. It's a little bit later during the day. Me and my mum went out to, actually we've been looking at us getting a sewing machine for the longest time, and basically we ended up buying the Bullet and we got one, but With that, we also went to the same secondhand craft store, charity store, that we would usually go to. Let me pull you down a bit. And it meant that I got a little bit of yarn. I had so much self-control, in my opinion. I only got things that I thought were really, really interesting to find, or that I already had a plan for, say. I am planning ahead quite a lot for like vest tops and things like that, like t-shirts and things like that. Anyway, some of it I will show next time, because they are like animal fibre related, and usually when I get things from a secondhand store, I tend to just shove it straight in the freezer and don't let it near my other yarn stash, just in case. So I'll show the rest of it next time, but I wanted to show what I had just got. Okay, so this is in a very crinkly bag. There was some King Cole. It wasn't an RSPCA we went to, but apparently the sticker was on there. There was some King Cole there. In my opinion, if I'm going to be making things for babies and just things that need to be made in acrylic rather than animal fibre, whether it's because of how they're looked after or whatever, if I can get it super cheap, I'm going to pick it up, especially if it's got a label and it's in a plastic bag. So I picked up some King Cole, which is just a like navy blue. I'm not sure how much these are, brand new, but it was like £1. So I got one of those, and then a bunch of other yarns from the same store, the same secondhand store. Those are the ones I'll go into next time, because they are currently in the freezer. If you know why, you know why, but I just don't like the idea of bringing yarn that's got potential moths or larvae, bugs, whatever, just bring it into my stash assuming that it'll be okay, and then there ends up being a bug and then it infects my whole... I get very nervous about it. That was that. I'll go through these in a minute actually. But we also went to Hobbycraft, which is one of the biggest, is it the only? It's like the biggest craft chain store. Ironically, I've not really been to Hobbycraft that much, but I do quite like it. The yarn isn't quite to my taste in regards to how little animal fibres there are in the yarn, but that's just my opinion. There's some brilliant brands there, and which is really exciting. Some that does have some wool, some had some alpaca, very small quantities, but still very, very cool. I got myself a gauge ruler measurer thing. It was £3. I hope it's straight. That would be awkward, wouldn't it? I don't necessarily need it for this, but it's more for like the gauge, because I just think that this is so helpful to actually visualize the gauge rather than trying to hold down a tape measure. I just think it's gonna be so much easier, so I got one of those. We also got their Hobbycraft's range, Knitcraft of It's Only Natural, which is their 100% organic cotton. And I mean, I'm kind of fell in love with the colour. So I had a quick look at a vest top pattern that I'm looking at doing, and just to work out the rough meterage, and I think I got too much, but I got 6 skeins. They're an absolute mess, mind you, so these are absolutely gonna need caking. Apart from these two look good, but all the rest of them are just, I mean, that's an easy fix, but they're just falling apart. One thing I have noticed about Hobbycraft, looking at all the yarns, and it was amazing seeing all the yarns there, the dye lots, in my opinion, were a problem. There's either not much there, which is fine, or in this case there was, I think, like 8 on the shelf, maybe 9 in total, which is great, but I noticed instantly that some of them looked very different. I was like, oh, okay, not good. So I picked 3 from one dye lot, 3 from the other, and the rest of them were from the other dye lot that was there. I think there's one random one as well. If you're not a knitter, you won't really understand the importance of keeping dye lots together, and it might just be a case of, well, hey, this is all we've got, fine, that's absolutely fine. But the reason why they have dye lots on them is so you know what colours are from the same batch, and there were some of these that were just so far off. And I mean, I might even argue that they look very different, these 2 bottom ones here.
I went for the closest ones possible. And I'm going to use the same dye lot first, and I'm going to mix in the other dye lot just to try and make it look as close as possible. Or I'll go for a purposeful what's the word? Fade? Where it looks like it's on purpose rather than just me not realising so they're not the same dye lot. But I got 6 of these. They are 50 grams, they're DK, 50 grams, 105 meters, and they're 100% organic cotton. And just, let me show you one that actually looks half decent. But that's it's beautiful colour. It's very accurate on camera actually. The colour is Austin Sage. So I got 6 of these for a cotton vest top that I plan on knitting up soon. I wanted to get a black one as well, but they didn't have any. And I saw the empty pot and I was like, I bet that's the black, because that's the one I want on. And it's probably the one that everyone else wants, and it's very true. The one colour they didn't have in stock was the black. But they had this Rico yarn, and it's just a pale pink. But it's like, was it 25 grams, which is really good for, well, it was in the I can never say the name, and I would be able to say it if I saw it, but it's the really cute crochet style technique. But this would also be really good for faces in teddies and plushies. So I picked up a pink. It was only £1.30, £1.40, £1. I'd rather get one like this when I know that I'm not going to use it that much compared to a big one. So it just made sense to me. So I got one of these, and then lastly we picked up some fabric. We picked up some like blue scrap fabric. As of right now, I can't really tell you what fabric it is. Some dark blue fabric. I'm losing light very quickly, hence why I'm rushing to get these shown since I can. And this is a whole wad. Picked up like some tartan. And I just think it's a really nice amount of material, really nice quality, and I don't know, I just think like a skirt or like a top, or maybe a dress is a bit much, but I just think that would make a really nice few projects, and even like bandanas for the dogs as well. And so we begin our sewing journey. I do plan on sewing things as we go, but as of right now I'm still majorly knitting, and yeah, so that's kind of that. But I just wanted to pop back in and show you these things, and yeah. And we got a sewing machine from Hobbycraft as well, which came with this really cool kit as well, which has so much stuff in it. But I think I might go through that next time when I'm a little bit more rehearsed as to how all of the settings work and everything, because there's so many settings on it. I'm quite surprised for the price. But with that, I'll hand you back to Holly from earlier to round off the video. But obviously I did say I was gonna do the little catch up here, so if you would rather just not hear about things to do with my personal life, don't be very long, then you're welcome to stop here, and I appreciate you watching, so thank you for being here. But yes, I have unfortunately been very unwell with COVID. Never thought that 3 years later I would be saying that. It meant that I just couldn't do any knitting. I couldn't do anything. Hence the uploads as well. Everyone has been super supportive in regards to the whole thing. I am so much better. Gosh, I'm so much better than I was. And the only things that I'm struggling a little bit now with are the cough, which isn't constant, but when it happens I end up having a full-blown coughing fit, and it then makes everything very painful, and unfortunately I can get a little bit sick because I was coughing so much. The other thing is my chest. I've got a lot of chest pains since. it's fine. It's just every so often I'm like, oh. And then the other thing is like COVID, like the brain fog. I already struggled with this anyway due to my health, so having the COVID, it be a thing COVID as well on top of it, it means that I'm just very slow sometimes and piecing together words can be a little bit difficult. I'm really hoping that these things fizzle out. I know a lot of people still struggle with long-term COVID symptoms. I'm really hoping that I am fortunate enough for these to go when they're ready to go, but I'm just very grateful that I'm feeling better, because I was not good. So, you know, all that to say, it just adds on to the list of things to deal with daily. But I'm just very grateful that I'm feeling better and that I'm here and that I'm able to talk to you again because it's been a while. But that's basically everything I wanted to. Just as I was saying that the coughing fits don't happen very often, I'm trying to do an outro and I have a coughing fit. Right, anyway. That is all from me as of this podcast today. I really hope you enjoyed. I want to say a massive thank you to those that have been supporting me on Ko-fi. Thank you so much. And being a member, it's really, really kind. It's super supportive and it really, really helps me out. And I just really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. That is the end of this one. Please do let me know what you thought of today's podcast and the projects that I am doing. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Give the video a like. It really does help out more than you know. And yeah, I appreciate you all very, very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. There was so much more that I wanted to talk about, but I feel like this is going to be long enough, so I'll leave them for the next one. Exciting times. But thank you so much for being here. Much love to you all.